Hi everybody, Broken Ebeez here. Welcome to today's video. The title of today's video is why most Windows users cannot switch from Windows to Linux. As you all know, I'm a massive Linux fan and I love my Linux and I bang the drum for Linux and nobody listens, and the main reason for that is nobody cares. Nobody gives a flying fuck what operating system you use, whether you use Linux Mint, whether you use Mac OS, whether you use Windows. It doesn't really fucking matter. However, I found a video on YouTube which is a fantastic video. It will cost you 7 minutes of your life, and if you haven't watched it, it's worth watching. Things to know before switching to Linux. So yesterday I upgraded my Windows 10 PC to Windows 11, which is what you're looking at here, and I discovered that there are a whole myriad of reasons why people can't or won't switch from Windows to Linux. Now this machine is exactly the same spec as my Linux machine. The only difference is this has an nVidia RTX 3050 8GB graphics card. The Linux Mint machine has an AMD RX 580 8GB graphics card, and that works beautifully on Linux Mint. If I take this graphics card out of this machine, put it into the Linux Mint and install the nVidia drivers, the experience can be described as terrible. Whereas on Windows 11 with the nVidia RTX 3050, the gaming experience, even though the RTX 3050 is considered an entry level card, is absolutely sublime. The reason for that, which nobody talks about, is that the nVidia drivers are designed from the ground up to be run on Microsoft Windows. If you're a Linux wanker, well, suck it the fuck up. Yes, you may get your card to work on your Linux, but you'll all have varying degrees of success, from it's so terrible I can't use it to it's alright, but it's never going to be as good as it is on Windows. Why is that? Because Windows contains a set of programming commands called APIs, which are only available in Windows, and the nVidia drivers and the nVidia software take advantage of these APIs. On Linux, you don't have these APIs. All you have at best is kind of a form of emulation. You have open source drivers on Linux, you have dedicated from the ground up proprietary drivers on Windows. Is it any wonder that Windows runs so much better with nVidia than what Linux is? Now, before all the Linux wankers start posting under, oh, I've run Arch Linux with an nVidia blah 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 for 10 years, never had a problem. Yeah. Take them sorts of comments and ram them right up your fucking arse, because that's where they belong. The fact of the matter is, whether you like it or not, Windows coupled with an nVidia graphics card is a far superior gaming platform to the Linux platform. Secondly, there are many advantages to using a Windows platform as opposed to a Linux platform. With Windows, you'll get access to nVidia's DLSS scaling system right out the box, and it can transform how a game runs, looks and feels on your PC. You don't have access to that on the Linux. Secondly, you have a myriad of programs that are written from the ground up for Windows that just do not work on Linux. To give you a simple example, I'm running Windows 11. I can play American Truck Simulator. I can interface that with the Truckee.io app mod which runs within the ATS game itself. I can also run and use Truckers MP quite easily and freely to use the online servers to play with 3,000 or 5,000 other players. On Linux, I can't do that because Truckers MP was designed from the ground up for Windows. The Truckee IO mod is not compatible with Linux. It's designed to run from Windows. And all these make calls on certain bits and pieces which are only available in Windows. So no matter how good your emulation is, no matter how good your Proton tricks or your Wine tricks is, you're firefighting before you fucking start. Now, this is just one example of one game, American Truck Simulator. That's not going to include all your anti-cheat software games like your Valorants and Fortnites and everything else. They just don't fucking work on Linux. So, am I going to stay on Windows 12 on this machine? Hell yes, because it gives me a great gaming experience, and that's really all I'm interested in this box for. Am I personally going to stay on Windows? No. I'm a Linux Mint fan and I love my Linux Mint PC. However, it does bring to light the major drawbacks and limitations of Linux as a gaming platform compared to Windows 11. Now, before all you fanboys post underneath, yeah, what about telemetry? What about advertising? What about spyware, keyloggers? What about screenshotters? The hard truth is the majority of PC users on this little ball of rock don't give a flying fuck, and their attitude is it's better to do nothing than to change, because like it or lump it, people are like water. They want the smoothest, the easiest path, and sometimes, a lot of times actually, that path is do fuck all. So for all the Linux wankers out there who think that Linux is the best thing since sliced bread, yes, it has its advantages, it has its uses, but in 2025, compared to Windows 11 as a gaming platform, Linux it's not even in the ballpark. So any of you Linux wankers who are out there who are under the delusion that 2025 is the year of the Linux operating system, you couldn't be more fucking wrong if you tried. Please post underneath your 10 penneth worth. Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Thumb the video up if you loved it. Thumb it down if you hated it. Don't forget to put your 10 cents under there. I will see you for another wicked Broken Ebeez video.